The 2023 Gold Britannia has arrived in my stack. We're going to talk about what's interesting about this year, and we're going to have a look at some other options, what you could be stacking in 2023. So first of all, here we have the new Gold Britannia. The silver version is the same as this, obviously in silver. And what's interesting about this year, we obviously have the 2023 date still with QE2. So what's going to happen is they're going to continue with these for a little while, perhaps up until Christmas, maybe something around there. And then what they're going to do is put the new monarch onto the coin and keep the 2023 and the same design for the Britannia. So it makes an interesting year for people who are collecting the Britannias. We've got obviously the usual security features that we've been used to for a couple of years now. And yeah, it'll be an interesting year for the collectors, as there'll be two monarchs for the same, obviously, year of coin. Now, that hasn't happened before on the Britannias. We have had some different portraits and different monarchs on the Britannias, but generally it would change with a new year. So will that create premium growth in the future? I'm not so sure on the bullion coins, because at the end of the day it is just a 1 ounce bullion coin. You know, it's mass produced, it's not of a limited mintage, and the Britannia's not really part of a set. I suppose it is, you know, the Britannia set, but it's not like something like these Tudor Beasts or the Queen's Beasts, where you're having, you know, multiple coins coming out over the course of a few years. So for that reason, I'm not so sure. Would I pay a higher premium for one of these at the moment? Not really, but it does suggest that the way they're going to do it, that the 2023 with the QE2 might be, you know, a slightly rarer coin than what they do with obviously the new monarch on there. So possible there is some space for premium growth. Maybe collectors will want to have one of each. In my eyes, it's a great move by the mint. So I would imagine they'd probably already started, at least with the design, maybe of the minting of the 2023 coins. And rather than, you know, remelt them all and do them all with the new monarch, I think it is a good plan on their part. You know, it might spur some people on to buy an extra coin who would have only bought, you know, one Britannia. Maybe they think, well, now I've got to have both, and perhaps that will happen. So for them, I think from a business perspective, great idea. The sovereign for 2023 is apparently going to have a coat of arms design. So whether it will be the same as this for 2022 or whether it will be a new interpretation, I'm not so sure. I do expect we'll see the copper colour continue. The Royal Mint tend to like that, and if you look on their website, they seem to make the coin look as pink as possible in their photos and, you know, their materials. So this is just the bullion coin. Do I think the 2022 sovereign might command a bit of a premium? I think it probably will. So the 2023 sovereign, I think with it being, you know, a new monarch and the first year of the monarch, I think it might take, you know, a little bit of premium there, especially with the proof coins and the sets, just depending on what mintage they do. So as long as they keep the mintage similar and the price isn't too crazy, you know, I think it will probably sell out at the mint, going off what happened recently. But maybe they will increase the mintage for, you know, an anticipated higher demand. So we'll have to see. I probably will pick up a proof coin, just the one. You know, proofs aren't really my bag, but I don't mind grabbing one just to see. I do have my Proof 22, which got graded recently, and I will show that on the channel soon. Should you pick up other coins? So we have, for example, this is the Unicorn of Scotland, the Queen's Beast, and for me personally, I like to pick up some sort of coins like this if there is a good opportunity and a good deal. And, you know, I would normally stick to just basic bullion sovereigns and basic bullion Britannias, but when I think there is, you know, a really good price on something like this, or if this came up at a similar price to a Britannia, then I'd probably pick it up all day, to be honest. I do like the Queen's Beast series. The Unicorn, not my favourite, but, you know, somewhere in the middle. Obviously, we've got some more beastly beasts, like the Dragon, the Yale, things like that. And yeah, I just do like to pick up lower premium stuff just to keep my keep my stack nice and economical, if you like. But when I can buy things like this that potentially will gain a premium to, partly diversify the stack and just give me something a bit different to look at and show on the channel. But I do also like to just pick up something a bit different from time to time. It just keeps things a bit more interesting. So yeah, if you can pick up these lions, they are still hanging around. There's a few of these available. The quarter ounce haven't seen very many of at all, and you've probably not got long left on those. The Yale is the second in the Queen's Beast in the bullion part of the series, so you probably have a bit more time on these before, I guess, March time, something like that, when the third coin comes out. So overall, in terms of stacking, 2023, I wouldn't get too excited about the Britannias, growing to crazy premiums. They may well. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think they will be increasing in price? Do you think the demand will be there? And perhaps in future, people will be scrambling for them. If you look back at some of the kings, like, for example, Edward or George, even Elizabeth, the kings, they've not really got much excitement around the first years. Like, I don't see people scrambling for, the first Edward, for example, or the first George. So perhaps for that reason, it won't be quite as exciting. But the first year of Liz, 1957, you do see people paying some quite hefty premiums for the bullion coin at the moment. So that could be a good option, if you've got one, to perhaps move it on. Or it could be that the same will happen for the Charles portrait. So we will see on that. And yeah, the other thing to note, it will be the last time QE2 is on the Britannia. So maybe some people will want one of those just for, I don't know, sentimental reasons, perhaps, if they're into that kind of thing. I'm not so sure. In terms of sizes, things like that, there is the argument for smaller coins that people like. If gold price does go higher and people's costs increase, then perhaps they'll have less in their budget to buy metals. So a sovereign or a quarter ounce could be a better size than the 1 ounce. And yeah, they do have the 2023 Britannia in 10th and quarter as well, and half size as well. So there are smaller options for those if you don't want to go for a full ounce. And in terms of the, like say, the specs and security, they are all the same. So yeah, for me, I would probably pick up some of these if you've got the chance. Maybe the 2023 one will gain a little bit of premium due to the special year. But otherwise, just keep stacking the basic bullion, averaging over the long term, and all should be well in the future. So if you do see some bargains on, Queen's Beast, things like that, by all means go for them, and why not buy a bit of what you like. But make sure you've got a good base and a bit of savings for a rainy day, just in case. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the Britannia. Will you expect to see a bit of a rise in premium? Are you going to load up on a few of these? Or are you neither here nor there? Just keep stacking the bullion that comes up at a good price. Talk to you in the comments.